Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Holmgard. As you can see, I'm starting off another episode in the Industrial District, and I have been AFK overnight here, and I have gotten some more gold. So yeah, it wasn't much because the server was set to easy last night. I don't know why, but the version keeps changing automatically. Difficulty. We keep setting it to hard, and it should be set to hard, but I don't know why it keeps changing. So yeah, that's a thing. So I got a lot less gold than I was supposed to. But the main thing that I'm here for is to show you how much slime I got. So I have not quite checked this out yet, but I'm assuming we got quite a bit. So in this first chest, full. Oh, what? What the heck? That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and a half? 8.5 double chests of slime. That is a lot more than I thought it would get. So that's pretty cool. This thing's definitely working. That's really nice. But, as I said in the last episode, today's episode is not going to be about farms and stuff. Oh, I've also been, changing out the sides of the elevator for concrete and stuff. But today's episode is not going to be about farms, this is going to be about base progress. So I think I'm going to jump into a quick time lapse of me placing down sand at my base, and we will go from there. After that quick time lapse, I am here back at my base. I have actually started to run out of red sand, but all of this sand is now placed down. It looks pretty cool. I also updated my texture pack so it has this cool thing that it shows like when crops are ready to be harvested, so like they'll have an exclamation point above them. So as you can see, this one isn't ready to harvest, but this one is, so it tells me that. I don't know, I think it's kind of cool, so I think I'm gonna leave it. But, so yeah, I placed all this sand and stuff, and, I went to go get more, but then I realized that I've been running out of shulker boxes because I've run into a habit of just, like, dumping random stuff into some of them. So I decided to go end raiding and get some shulker boxes. But at the same time, I also wanted to get myself a spare elytra, because unfortunately, I died. And the death I experienced was the worst kind of death. Death in the void. So when I came here to the Enderman farm, I unfortunately missed the platform when I glided down to it, and I died in the void. But I was also working on the platform at the time, so I changed out the main pathway for black carpet. Instead of 3 blocks, I made it 5 to make it easier to land on. I added this pretty cool Enderman face. I also added gray carpet to make it look better. I didn't really know any way else to do it, so just did it that way. And I just totally revamped this place. So I added obsidian just to make it tie in with the end theme, I guess. Bookshelves and stuff, this is all the same. Just changed out the leaves for obsidian. And I also removed the things, or the daylight sensors here, replaced it with carpets with hoppers underneath it. So now all of the ender pearls will get picked up. You can no longer see the droppers and stuff, and there's no gaps, so like all the ender pearls will get picked up. I have an indicator lamp if the farm is turned on or not. And then you can just stand here and swing at it. I should probably repair my pickaxe while I'm here. But yeah, so this is just a quick little update that I did die and I did lose all my stuff. I was fortunately able to replace it. This was in between episodes, so I got everything back before that. But yeah, it wasn't very good, but I was able to get all my stuff back, and I revamped all of this in the process. In other news, I have done some testing back here at the base with some orange carpet and lighting. So I'm not quite sure if this is good or not, but I kind of like it lit up, but I also kind of like it dark at the same time. I'm not quite sure, but like this dark just looks a little too plain, and like, but the light just looks a little weird. I think the orange carpet does work really well if I were to like tie it in with some slabs or something like that, like red sandstone slabs, and like just add a little bit more features, but I'm just not really quite sure if I like the lighting or not. I might leave it or just play around with it a bit more. But otherwise, I might jump into another quick time lapse of me placing some red sand along the ocean bed here. Use my new conduit because I ended off right around here-ish. And I do really like the red sand, and I think I probably will keep it. So I'm going to jump into another time lapse of me placing even more sand. I have laid out this cool little pattern thing here on the ground. Well, it's not really cool or a pattern, but it's like a little outline that's kind of hard to see on the ground. But if I go up here into the air, you can kind of see this shape thing. Yeah, it kind of looks like an octopus, but I don't know. So, this is kind of the idea of my mega base. So from here I have this line which is going to be like a ridge shape. Beautiful sunset over the ocean. But so this stone here is marking out like my idea of where like I'm going to build up some mountains and stuff. So I'm going to have like a ring of mountains all along here, probably going up fairly high. And so to do that I need to build this up. And I think it would be cool because here I'm going to add a pretty deep hole that will be the actual base itself of the mine. I should probably sleep quick. But so basically in that middle area I am going to dig all the way down to fairly deep, about bedrock or so. And the only problem is that that level where the mountain thing is only level 65. So the hole will only be about 60 blocks deep, which, don't get me wrong, it's pretty high, or that's pretty deep still. And like the bigness of it is going to be the reason, or like the width of it. And then once I actually dig the hole down here, I'm probably going to go down about like 10 blocks or so until I start digging the room because of the ocean and stuff. And I'm going to actually dig the room out, which is going to stretch all the way to around here. Somewhere this will be all underground. And then I'm just going to hollow the entire area out and make it look like a kind of mine, like terracotta mine shaft or whatever. And it'll just be like a giant cave room with like mine carts and stuff all over the place. I think it'll look pretty cool. But just to like give the hole more depth and like area to give me like and more area to like build mine equipment and stuff to make the entrance look nicer, I think a hill like this. So my plan is to like build up with like the stone and stuff here, and then just cover it in red sand to then like make like a natural looking shape thing. And I think we've had enough time lapses in this episode already. I might do some later, but I think this will be kind of better in a jump cut for me to get a rough idea on how to do this. Me rambling on back there about how I was going to do this probably didn't make much sense, so here I just did like a quick little mock-up of, so I'm just going to build like pretty simple terrain like this, or just back and forth on lumps and stuff. If I could actually parkour up here and around to the back, then the back will probably just be the same but a little bit less detailed, but just so it ties in with like the sheer cliffs of this going up. Then this here is going to be a little bit more of a gradual slope. And now I think I'm just going to carry it out through the entire thing with stone and then start covering it with sand. All of the stone is now in place for the mountain. I think it looks pretty nice like this with all the curves and stuff. And this just gives you a real sense of scale, what I was going for. I also set up a jump boost beacon to help me out with this. But yeah, just like this nice curve along the edge. And then I also finished off the outside. This area here is a little weird because of how close I got to the shoreline and how vertical I had to go, but I think I finished it off pretty nicely. And then as you go around the back here, it's kind of the same thing, but I think it worked out really nice. So now it's time to cover it in sand. The sand is now in place, and I've started to lay out like a groundwork on the floor here. So the sand looks pretty good all the way around and stuff, and I think that this is going to be the size of the hole, so I just have like the border here and then the actual hole in the ground. This is going to go a lot deeper, but this is just a quick sketch. But now my next question is that like I have sand here, which looks pretty good, but then over there I also mixed in some sandstone to break up the texture, and I think the sandstone looks a lot cooler, so I'm probably going to carry it through everything else. But then I also have a piece of smooth sandstone right there, and I just think that that blends in too much with the normal sand that I'll probably not do that. But yeah, so that's my plans, and now I think I'm going to jump into a mega time lapse of me starting to dig out this hole. Hello everybody, I hope that you enjoyed that time lapse, and here I set up 2 more beacons and I also moved it down for better digging and stuff. I hope that you enjoyed the time lapse otherwise, but we have updated to 1.16.2, and because of that, replay mod is not out yet for that version, so I had to do a bit of digging off camera. So I have done a lot of digging here. It's not quite all the way that I want it to. I want it to go a lot deeper than this, but I do think that this will work very well. I'm probably going to like smooth out that corner, but that's what I'll do later. But yeah, otherwise I have done a lot of digging here. But since replay mod isn't quite out yet and I've gotten kind of bored of that, I think I should move on to something else. So, as I said a long time ago, I have these villagers down here that I've been kind of trading with. I also punched them on accident, both of them. But so this guy I've just been using for a paper trade, and then this guy over here has mending that I have been using to do that. But in the meantime as well, I've captured 2 more villagers over here. I have an acacia one, and then I just have a plains villager because, yeah, I couldn't really find more of them. So if I just pearl out of here, so I have captured these guys, and I just need to transfer them over to the industrial area. So I guess I will pop into a quick time lapse of me doing that. Okay, so I have now transported the villagers over, and here's just a little villager breeder that I built up. So here oh, a bunch of the potatoes are ready. So here I started building the Impulse designed villager breeder. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend checking it out. But the only problem is that it doesn't work in 1.16.2 because I just started building it and then I was like, because there was bed changes or whatever in 1.16.2, I just decided to test it out, and also to make sure that my the original stairs and stuff that I built would work. But it did not, because the villagers would jump out of their beds and onto the other beds and stuff, and it basically it didn't work. So then I looked up a new design by Logical Geek Boy. He is also a pretty cool YouTuber. I recommend checking him out. And so here's just the original room from Impulse SV, and then I just combined it with the actual villager breeder by Logical Geek Boy. So in there I have 4 beds, 2 trapdoors. So basically the villagers, they can pathfind through here because this is considered nothing. So this is considered a block that a villager can walk through, and they think that they can walk on these trapdoors because if they're closed, they can walk on them, but they cannot determine if it's opened or closed. So they'll think that they can walk over this, but they'll just fall down. So the adult villagers say that, oh, hey, I can access all those beds. So then they try to breed to fill up those beds, but of course they, well, when they do, by harvesting all these potatoes and stuff, they breed, and then the children can fit through these 1-block gap. So then they run over these trapdoors and into the water down there, where I have a hopper to collect any potatoes that just happen to fall down there. So I can get potatoes from this possibly, and then I just have a wall there for them to wait on, the baby villagers, until they grow up. And then I have a water stream connecting them to over here, where here I then just have a storage where they will fit into that gap. So now all I need to do is somehow figure out a way to get them into the area. But because it is actually nighttime right now, I should just be able to do that and break this boat, and then the dude should just pathfind to the bed, or he is pathfinding away. So don't go down there. Oh, what have I done? Actually, maybe he might just walk up back for me. Please? What's this dude doing? No, dude, come. Okay. 1 sec, I'll be right back. Okay, take 2, but now this time I actually have blocks here to keep them in. So if I just break this boat, this dude should just pathfind. No! Okay, I will be right back again. Now with that design flaw fixed, I have double checked this and there's no possible way for them to escape now. So I'm going to try this dude now because he might cooperate more. Or he'll just not move at all. So I can just push him in, hopefully. Come on, dude. Oh, he moved, and he is in. Kind of, almost. I just want a little bit of wiggle room for that. Okay, and now get this dude at. Oh, and I punched him. Whoops. Okay. Come on, dude. Just walk in. Oh, he ran in. Let's go. Okay, they are now trapped in there. They can take all this stuff down quick. Okay, good. So now that they are actually in there, yep, this dude's trying to pathfind to the bed. I'm not sure where the other dude is, but they should be in there. I'm just going to sleep quick and see if this actually works. Hopefully in the morning, then one of them will take a job. Hopefully. So actually I can just like hop in here. Okay, so that dude became a farmer. So now he should walk around and pick up a bunch of potatoes and stuff, and then breed with this guy, who will then have the villagers spawn in and stuff. So yeah, now all that needs to happen is that dude should just plant. Then hopefully these guys will get breeding. So I would say that this villager breeder has been a success so far, and hopefully it does actually produce villagers. It is now the next day, and I have done some AFKing overnight at the gold farm over there, and the villagers have breeded, and now I have a whole bunch of villagers in here. So, yep, this project has been a definite success, but seeing as the episode has been carrying on for a while, we've made a lot of progress today with the base, and hopefully we will now have some infrastructure for next episode where we will be building an iron farm. So, I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.